Hey guys, I hope you are doing well, and in today's lovely video I'm going to show you 4 things that I sewed that are really easy and simple. It's nothing difficult, well to my standard it isn't, but if anyone would like to learn how to sew any of these, I'll put timestamps in the description. So let me give you a recap on all the things that will be in this video. So as a disclaimer, all of these items I've sewed from any scrap fabric I've had around. So the first thing is a cute little cheetah print bookmark with cheetah print on the back. And then another thing to go with reading and books is a little book cover, because then you can just put it in your handbag or put it in your luggage, and then your pages won't get eaten alive and they won't bend or fold or whatnot. You can change the measurements of this to have, accommodating more of your bigger books, like this really thick book that does not fit in the small one. But I've got Little Woman in here and she fits. Another thing that I made for all my sewing girlies is the Pincushion. It's where you just put your pins in when you're not using them. And the last thing we have is this really cute fabric bucket. So I'm currently using it for all my fabric, really small scraps, and all my threads, my loose threads. I've hoyed it into this little bucket. It's very cute because it can also be interchanged to maybe for your stationery. And then I thought it would be a very cute idea to put this in your bathroom with all your skincare in it. So the first thing you're going to do is measure 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters. And then there's a diagonal line where you should fold the fabric. So in total, you are going to need 2 fabrics, one for your lining and one for your main fabric. And we're going to transfer this onto our fabric, so 5 centimeter by 5 centimeter. So you should cut 2 pieces of your main fabric, these squares, and then you're going to need to cut one of your linings, so 5 centimeter by 5 centimeter, and then you only need 1 fusible interfacing, which you'll also cut out. Once you've cut these all out, you should have 2 pieces of main fabric, 1 lining and 1 interfacing, which you're then going to fuse onto your lining. So you're going to fold one of your main pieces of fabric, place it on your lining, and take your other piece of fabric and sort of sandwich it on top of the layers. And then you're going to pin around the whole thing. However, when you sew it, we're going to sew it along the sides, but we're going to leave an opening at the bottom so we're able to turn it right sides together. And once you do that, you should get a cute little bookmark. But first we need to press out those corners with a little ruler. Don't forget to do that so they're nice and pointy, but you should be left with something like this. Really, the last step of this is to pin down that closing and then top stitch around the whole edge of the bookmark. Very, very simple and easy. And ta-da! There you have it. A very cute, stylish bookmark for your book. For the Pincushion, the measurements are 9 centimeters by 9 centimeters, and you're going to need 4 blocks. So this is the fabric I used, and I'm just tracing again 9 centimeter by 9 centimeter across all the way, and you should be left with 4 pieces of fabric. Then we're going to pin 2 of the blocks together, right sides together, and we're only going to stitch on one of the sides at the moment. So that top seam we're going to stitch now. From doing that, we're going to open them up. And then from opening up, we're going to place them right sides together again, and we're going to stitch along that long, wide length. From doing this, we're going to open it up again, and you can see our 4 blocks all sewn together. We're going to fold it in half again, how it originally was, and sew along these side seams. And it creates this little pocket thing. And then we're just going to trim off the corners so it's nice and sharp, and from this we're going to bring it together and we're going to sew along this seam as well, but we're going to leave once again a little gap so we can fold it inside out like what I'm doing now, and then using our ruler to just push out those corners so they are nice and sharp once again. So this part you can either use scrap fabric or you can use the pillow filling like I have already. Either or you can use, and you're just going to place it all inside until it is nice and full. Once it has been done, the last step to this is hand stitching the opening closed, which I'm not very good at, but you can try your best to do this. And voila! There's your pincushion. A really simple, easy pincushion that took me at least maybe 30 minutes. For the book cover, you can measure out any book that you want. Just be wary of the bind of the book, as this might make it more of a snugger fit. But regardless of the point, what you will need to do is that you're going to measure the length and the width on your main fabric. You'll need 2 pieces of this, and you're going to do the exact same thing for your lining fabric. So you measure out the length and the width, and you're going to need 2 linings as well, so 2 pieces of fabric. In terms of the straps, I made them 3 centimeters by 12, but 12 was a little too short for me, so I'd suggest maybe moving to 20 centimeters in length. And then we are going to need 4 straps, so you need to cut this out 4 times. And then we have our 4 straps, our 2 main fabric, and our 2 lining fabrics. From this, we're going to pin those 2 fabrics together, right sides together, and then we're going to sew along that blue line edge, leaving that opening at the other side. Do the same thing for your straps, leaving one side open, so stitching all the way along that edge and leaving that long side open. So we're going to cut the corners off of the straps, so when we turn them around and we place the ruler in, we get nice pointy corners for our straps. You can top stitch the straps if you want, but I did not. I just left them how they were, and we're going to do the same thing with our lining and our main fabric, just cutting the corners off. Then you're going to take your main fabric and you're going to turn it inside out, so the right side is facing, and you're going to place your lining inside there, making sure wrong sides are together. From this, I'm going to manually hem the lining and the outside fabric. So what I did is that I matched the side seams quick. I just pinned them without hemming them, and then I'm going to fold in from the main fabric about 1/2 centimeter and 1/2 centimeter also rolling in from the lining. And you're going to do this all the way around the book cover bag. As you can see, a nice hemmed edge. And then from that, I took the middle of my bookcase and I opened where the pin was so I could place my strap in there. And I pinned it down so you could see it's between the 2 layers, sandwiched between. And there you have it. I made mine 25 centimeters by 25 centimeters. It's quite really easy. It's just a huge piece of fabric. And you're going to need 2 pieces of main fabric, 2 pieces of lining, and 2 pieces of interfacing, or 25 by 25 centimeters. From attaching the fusible interfacing to the lining fabric, we're now going to place them right sides together. And then we're going to measure 5 centimeter by 5 centimeter squares at the bottom of this fabric. And we're going to cut that out, and we're going to do this exact same thing with our main fabric as well. So once again, measuring down 5 centimeters, measuring across 5 centimeters, and then cutting it out. And we should have these 2 shapes in front of you. So then we're only going to stitch on the bottom and on the side seams. Do not stitch where those squares are across those squares, okay? Don't do it. So we're going to do this for our lining fabric and our main front fabric. And you can see you should be left with something like this. So it should be open by where those squares were cut out. And then we're going to close these squares up, matching side seams with side seams, pin it down, and repeat that for the other side of the bucket. And we're also going to repeat this for our main fabric. So this is just me showing you how you should do it. Just match those side seams up when you close those holes up. So now we're going to pin each of these holes together. After you've sewn them, we're going to pin them matching the side seams, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side as well. Just move the bucket around and then they should fit in place quite nicely. So when you sew them, it should look something like this, a bit strange, but that's quite fun because when you push the main fabric over, it fits quite easily and it just slides right in, which is great. And you can see that the wrong sides are now together and only the right sides are showing. So how I hem this, I did a double folded hem. So I rolled it once and then I rolled it again twice. I first did the side seams and then I moved around the bucket. And there it is, quite easy. And then you're going to top stitch around that to keep it in place. Ta-da! There you have your fabric bucket. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have not already, you can comment down something silly, maybe any improvements to what I've sewn, little tips. I would also enjoy that. So anything you can comment down, you can give this video a like, and hopefully you guys will subscribe from this. So anyway guys, I love you lots and I will see you in the next video.